I'm Mike Huckman at the Bio Buzz Center, where I'm pleased to be joined by Jeffrey Greene, who is the Global Transactions Leader for Life Sciences at EY. And your group is just out with this new report here at Bio that essentially is a financial health assessment, if you will, for the life sciences industry. And one of the key takeaways, I think, is that you're really saying that corporate leaders in life sciences and their boards of directors need to start behaving, if they aren't already, as the activists within. In other words, the best defense is a good offense.
That's very well put, Mike. So this report centers around capital allocation, and there's been a growing trend towards scrutiny of capital allocation by shareholders of all types. But in fact, in the last 2 years or so, we've seen a rise in activist shareholder movement within the sector. We've seen some large companies come under critique and have made some major moves over the last year or so.
Jeffrey, as you know, there is so much investment that is flowing into the life sciences sector right now. But one thing your report says is that because of that, leaders and again boards of directors need to exercise best practices when it comes to fiscal discipline. Do you want to expand on that?
Absolutely, and this is part of sort of acting as your own activist. That's part of the theme of the paper. As all the capital flows in, as you put it, one way we see that is in a continual rise in M&A prices. The premiums continue to grow. I think our report talks about the top 10 biotech deals. Premium has gone up from 36% on average to 45% in 2014. So with that comes a responsibility to deliver on those promised synergies. And so having a robust process in place to identify them and then implement them post-transaction is very important.
Jeffrey, one of the surprising findings of your report as well, at least to me, is that you say companies need to be more communicative when it comes to Wall Street, and especially with their big investors who vote their shares. To me, that sounds like common sense, but is there a problem in the industry right now?
I wouldn't say a problem. I think it's been a trend where, leading practice, where companies have always talked to their shareholders, particularly their largest institutional shareholders, but we see it become imperative now. With the rising power and influence of activist shareholders, they may only buy 1 or 2% of your company, but to the extent that they have a more compelling value creation story for your shareholders, they're going to bring along the larger institutional investors that have historically been passive, but are increasingly getting more active and making their thoughts known and their voice heard, and they're aligning with activists where they think that story is more compelling than what management is bringing to bear.
So keep the channels of communication open, and don't just tell them what you want to tell them and what you think they want to know, but do an intake from them of what they want to hear.
Exactly. So it's an inside out, talking about what you're doing, your strategic milestones, your financial performance, but also listening to what metrics they think are important so that you're focusing your day-to-day financial decisions on those metrics like total shareholder return, like return on invested capital.
Very interesting, good learnings. Jeffrey Greene, the Global Transactions Leader for Life Sciences at EY. Thanks for joining us here at the Bio Buzz Center.
Thank you, Mike.